Good afternoon, gang. This is me, Jane, and I'm talking to you about the virus again, still. I know that you probably all are in self-imposed exile or feeling like that you've been quarantined or whatever it is that you're dealing with at the present time. Keep in mind that very famous people in history, like Sir Isaac Newton, for instance, had done their best work whilst quarantined from the Black Plague, which was slightly more impressive than the COVID, although we could die of it. We could also die of the flu. And keep in mind that this COVID is going to be with us forever. Now it has been released into the atmosphere, into the world and into our bodies. That is where it will stay. Kind of like herpes or AIDS or any of those things, or measles. It is in the world and it will stay. It will be interesting when they have a vaccine. A couple of years ago I was on a plane and I was sitting next to a Chinese lady, and I asked her what she did, and she said, she was one of the designers of the flu vaccine. And that's what she worked on continuously every year, getting out a new flu vaccine. And I said, I'm so pleased that you are sitting next to me. What is your view of the flu vaccine? And do you have it? Do you have your flu jab every year? And she said, absolutely not. And I said, that's interesting, why not? And she said, the flu mutates very quickly, but we don't work very quickly. So by the time we've discovered what flu it is that we're working with, and we've replicated it, and we've done all the paperwork, and we've approached all the right people, and we've got all the permissions, and we've gone into production, and we've sent it out to everybody around Australia. Guess what? The flu is mutated again, and the jab you're getting is not for the flu that is happening at the moment. And I imagine that is what's happening with the COVID as we speak, that it is not static. It is changing, it is developing, and it is growing. It works on each of us in different ways. And with all this panic around, it's very difficult, because the panic and the fear and the depression and the OCD from washing your hands every 5 minutes is going to be doing more damage than we can imagine. And I'm so glad that I'm a yogi, because I get up in the morning and I do my meditation and I do my exercise, and I've been doing pranayama, because at this time of the year with the changing temperatures I always get a bit of chest inflammation, so I always do pranayama. So I really haven't changed from what I normally do. I'm just the same person. I went to the post office to send some stuff off to a client today, and there was nobody there. That's the first time. And the lady behind the desk, who's kind of standing, the desk is pretty wide anyway, and she's standing way behind that, and I'm standing on my marker on the floor like a television star, and she said, good morning, Jane. And I said, hi. And she said, you're brave. I said, why? And she said, you're not in self-imposed exile. And I said, neither are you. She said, but I'm wearing rubber gloves. Yes. And she was surprised I wasn't. But I've been doing all my disinfecting business, and I felt like I was covered. As well as that, there was a long way between us. And as I walked out, I saw this lady, and she had on a mask, which are a reasonable idea. She had rubber gloves, she had sort of boots, she had like bicycle clips around her trousers. I didn't notice if she had rubber bands around her sleeves on her jacket, but the rubber gloves were up quite high, and she had her hair tied back and a hat on. Now, I understand that the Chinese have discovered that this virus attaches to clothing and attaches to hair, and so does the flu, so does everything. So we just have to be ultra vigilant and do all the things we can and have the hot water every so often. But we also have to be happy. I know it's hard to be happy when the world is going nuts, but I think that we have to be happy because we've got to be the same people as we were yesterday. We've got to have that optimism. We've got to have that yogic feeling that this too will pass. That's what the Buddha said. And he said it for moments just like this one. This too will pass. How gorgeous is that? He also said, do what you can with what you've got, where you are. And I think that that's a very important message as well, as we are, no, we're not making do as much as we were last week. I went into the supermarket yesterday, and they had, apart from flour, I think they have just about everything one would need. Most people who bought flour probably have it stacked in their laundry and they haven't got a clue what to do with it apart from making wallpaper paste. So yes, I think it's going to be very interesting. I think that every year we're going to have to be prepared for something like this to occur as the COVID virus changes and mutates and gets hold again. I'm not trying to be depressive. That's how it is. You know, it's the genie is out of the bottle, as I've said, and we're going to have to get used to it. So my advice to you is to be yogi. Say to yourself, this too will pass. Keep yourself well hydrated. Eat well, lots of green veggies. I think I'm eating superbly well at the moment. I've got more time to prepare. I'm thinking of making this a sort of yearly thing. It's wonderful. I love it. We haven't got the sound of aeroplanes going over. The cars are reduced on the roads. When you go into shops, people are pleasant. They might be talking to you from a distance, but there's not many of them anyway, so that's okay. I think it's wonderful. I think it's very good. I like it. It's like Woodend, where I live, has suddenly gone back about 30 years. It's what I wanted. It's a strangely wrapped parcel, as I've said before. You know, a strangely wrapped parcel is when you ask for something from that side and God gives it to you from that side. It's easy to reject it as not what you asked for, but maybe it is, you know, and I've been saying for some time, it'd be really nice to be able to slow down. It'd be really nice to remember what it was like to have no yoga students. I can't hardly remember. What I do have to remember is that this is actually the school holidays. And this is actually how the school holidays are for me. Unless I want it to be otherwise. I don't have workshops, which I usually do during school holidays, but yeah, there are no yoga classes, there are no one-to-ones, there's no massages, none of that. But the garden looks fantastic. I was going to go around to cleaning the house today, but I found lots of other things that I'd rather do. But it really doesn't matter. Who's going to notice? You know? It's so fun. And I've always wanted to make one of those special books and special binders, so I'm going to do that. I do have planners on the Etsy site, and I'm making beautiful covers so that you can buy the beautiful covers, and I will post it to you, and then you can put all these wonderful pages I've made for you, you can put in the planets. Because I think that's the problem. You don't know what to do with them. I've got these planning pages, and you put them into something horrible and then you never use them. Well, I probably wouldn't either, because you put them in something horrible. I'm making something beautiful for you to put these planning pages into. And so that'll keep me busy, just in case I need to be kept busy. I'm going to learn all kinds of new and wonderful skills, so I'm not wasting it. I'm chanting, I'm doing my yoga practice in the morning, I'm remembering to do pranayama during the day, hugely important because this is a respiratory virus, so it's important that we do our pranayama as often as possible. I've made various cough medicines and chest medicines for myself, which I've offered to you, but nobody's taken up yet. Particularly the olive leaf extract, which is wonderful. So we've got to learn to do these things by ourselves, but please, don't get depressed. Just learn to do things a different way, because this is going to happen regularly. It is. Because the COVID is what it is. And if it changes at all, it's not going to change to get better. It's just going to change. So we have to adapt to doing things differently. And we will have to be able to, at a moment's notice, say, okay, I'm not going to go out. All right? I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. We have to learn to do things differently, and we have to learn that it's okay, and we will survive and we will become stronger because we'll be rested. Apart from anything else, the cat has joined us. Here is the cat. There she is. This is the cat. She's beautiful. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but yes, she is beautiful. She's company for me. She's more company than I want, actually. She always wants to be exactly where I am and exactly right in front of me and exactly right up here. I'm not used to that either, so I'm having to get used to that. But yes, I'm trying to be the person I am here for you. If you want to email me. I'm still getting out. I'm still doing things. The sun is still shining. The garden is beautiful. My herbs are growing. What's not to like? Namaste.